Hello and welcome in, fellow Macedons. I'm your host, Megan Phillips, and on today's episode of Campus Connections, we are introducing our very own production manager, Will Beamon, and we're discussing his short film called The Roommate. Hi, Will.
Hello.
Okay. Can you give us a brief overview of the film?
Yeah, it's about a woman named Charlie who is struggling with anxiety and depression and wants to take back kind of control of her life and reconnect with her group of friends, but she's got a very toxic roommate named Annie that is kind of trying to undermine all of her efforts to become friends again.
And what genre would it be described as?
I think for the main part, it's mostly a drama, but I try to add some levity and throw some humor in a little bit here and there, just so that way the whole film's not just a downer. But yeah, I guess I would mostly consider it to be a drama.
And what would you say was your favorite part of shooting?
My favorite part of shooting was just getting to work with the actors. I was very fortunate where everyone that's in my film was extremely talented. So I would be able to watch a scene play out in front of my eyes, basically, and what we were recording was better than I even imagined it when I wrote the script. So it was really cool to be able to kind of just witness it coming together and falling into place like better than I had imagined.
How long would you say the filming and editing process took?
We filmed every weekend in July, so that was like 4 weekends worth of filming, and that was basically, we started like around 11 a.m. and filmed until 6 p.m. each day. And then from there, like we didn't finish editing. The film didn't get done until this past week. So the week after Thanksgiving was when we finished it. So I guess it's like July, August, September, October, 5 months total to shoot and edit it. And that is not including the 6 months of pre-production that we did for it.
Mm-hmm. What underlying message or theme is present in this film?
Well, like I said with the synopsis, though, the whole story is kind of a reflection of myself from a low period of time that I went through personally. Because for some reason I decided for the first film that I was ever going to make, I was going to make it as self-reflective as possible and just kind of lay all of my emotions out onto the page. So it's a really personal story, so it is also making me anxious to have people watch it because like I hope they connect with it and feel the personality to it that I thought that I was giving it when I wrote it out, especially since it's loosely based on myself. So it's kind of like, well, if people don't connect to it, then I guess I made myself vulnerable for nothing. But yeah, so it's just kind of just how I had dealt with dealing with my anxiety and my depression during this period of time, and how my close friend group were the ones that really helped start the process of getting out of that hole. And so, yeah.
If someone were to ask you, why should I watch your film, what would you tell them?
I think you should watch it for just the obvious reason, because you should always support independent filmmakers, like no matter what. So that's usually a good way to get me to watch any film that someone makes, is just to support them in their career. The other reason would be just to kind of enjoy like a nice human story. And it's just very stripped down and it's very bare bones, and sometimes those very straightforward stories are refreshing to watch, like especially just in the age of CGI films. It's nice to watch one that's kind of just stripped down and just straightforward filmmaking.
When it comes to audio, lighting, and editing, which was the most challenging part?
Well, from the filmmaking side, lighting is always the most difficult. Like, from a visual standpoint in filmmaking, lighting pretty much will make or break how good it looks. So I spent a lot of time looking up newer lighting techniques and acquiring some lighting equipment to achieve some of the shots that I wanted. And it's hard too, like when you're filming outside, the sun is just an unknown variable and can ruin a shot too. So you're always battling that when you have an outdoor scene. But luckily I have some prior experience. I worked on a streaming series that was on Amazon Prime, and I worked on lighting for that series. So I kind of had a little bit of practice on it because that was about 10 months worth of shooting for that show. So that's like one of the skills I've been able to like grow since college and was able to apply on set. But like audio is the like, full disclosure, weakest part of filmmaking. But my brother-in-law went to school for basically like the film production version of audio. So he was really good at it. And like the other part of independent filmmaking besides lighting is how good it sounds. And it sounds great. So, yeah, so he was able to get that done.
You guys make a great pair. Would there be anything you would change about the movie or about the filming process?
I mean, yeah, there's always going to be stuff when you create that you're going to want to do different. And just like, since I edited the movie myself too, I've watched it probably like 200 times at this point. So I know everything that I think I messed up on or that I could do better. And I've already made notes on it. So that way, if I'm fortunate enough to make a second film, I'll make sure not to make the same mistakes twice. There's one blooper moment in the movie too that so far no one but myself has noticed. So I'm hoping that it stays that way. And so I guess after the premiere screening, people can point it out if they see it. But as far as I know, no one else has noticed, including Nick, who did the audio. So as long as it stays that way, that's a win. So yeah.
Okay. How do you think your movie can relate to the rest of the world?
I think it's just relatable because everyone goes through those struggles, whether they have anxiety or not. Everyone faces lows, and you just kind of have to be able to gather that self-courage to push through and go back to the highs.
Okay. Any last words of advice to share with the audience?
I guess I just have the cliche advice that every filmmaker has, and it's just like, if you want to create something, just do it. I sat on my hands longer than I wanted to before I created something for myself, and now that I did, it was kind of a life-changing experience and reminded me why I love it so much and why I wanted it to be the thing that I do. So I'm hoping things work out where I can make a second film, because I've kind of refallen in love with the process, and I'm kind of excited to get working on it again. So yeah.
You will. Mastodons, don't forget to drink your water, tune into College TV, and go watch The Roommate at the Cinema Center this January. I'm your host, Megan Phillips. Have a great day.